Welcome to Castified. You're tuned into The Deep Dive, where we slice through the noise to get to the heart of things. Today, we're unpacking a phrase that's blown up online. You've probably seen it on TikTok. But its roots go surprisingly deeper than you might think. We're talking about aura farming. Yeah, it sounds a bit like something from, I don't know, a fantasy game, or maybe a New Age retreat. And honestly, it's kind of both. We've gathered quite a range of sources for you today. Everything from popular YouTube explainers, Reddit threads talking game mechanics, all the way to really profound perspectives from a counseling psychologist and even an online academy focused on holistic wellness.
It is fascinating, isn't it, how a seemingly simple slang term, aura farming, actually reveals so much about, human behavior. It touches on that desire we have to look effortlessly cool, sure, but also these conscious practices for cultivating real inner well-being. So our mission in this deep dive is really to unpack these different takes, help you understand what aura farming actually means, how it's used, and maybe even what surprising applications it could have for your own life. Okay, let's dive in.
Right. So let's start where most of us probably heard it first. The internet, TikTok specifically. At its core, aura farming, in youth slang, it's about intentionally doing something that makes you look, well, cool. But first, what's aura here? What are we talking about? It's that sort of subtle energy, right? Like charisma or swagger, that presence. Someone's really stylish or super confident or just amazing at something, they're said to have aura. Think of maybe your favorite musician on stage, or just someone who walks into a room and commands attention without trying. They've got aura.
Right. They accrue aura points, basically. And the farming part, where does that come from? Well, if we connect it to the bigger picture, it's straight out of gaming, actually, like XP farming in RPGs, where you repeat an action over and over to gain experience points. Aura farming is kind of like that, repeating actions, cultivating a vibe specifically to boost your aura points, your coolness factor. It's conscious.
Okay, and this is where it gets really interesting, the story that kind of blew it up. The term really hit the headlines thanks to an 11-year-old Indonesian boy, Ryan Arandika. Videos of him doing this incredibly composed dance on the head of a speeding racing boat during a traditional canoe race, Paku Jalur. It went viral. And he wasn't just messing around. He was the Tukang Tari, the lead dancer, whose job is to keep the rowers hyped up. His balance was just impeccable. The arm movements, this warrior pose.
Pure aura farming.
Totally. Yeah. And it wasn't just for clicks. This led to him being named tourism ambassador for Riau province, getting a government scholarship. Real world impact.
That's such a perfect illustration. And it makes you think, what are other examples of this? People deliberately cultivating that aura. I mean, think about Michael Jackson at the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
He explodes onto the stage and then just stands there for 2 whole minutes, building that anticipation, looking completely untouchable. That is masterful aura farming.
Absolutely. Or even those drone shots in movies where the hero stands on a mountaintop looking all rugged and heroic. It's about presence, effect.
Exactly. It's about creating that powerful image.
But there's a catch, right? You can't just force it.
Oh, definitely not. There's a very fine line. The sources really stress this. If you try too hard, if you're obviously calculating your moves just to get cool points.
Like telling the same story over and over at a party.
Yeah, exactly. That becomes cringe. It actually lowers your aura points. The key seems to be that effortless cool, an unbothered energy. You can't really fake it.
Authenticity. Ryan Arandika wasn't planning to go viral. He was just fully in his element, doing something he was skilled at.
Precisely.
Okay, so other pop culture examples. The sources mentioned Duke Dennis, like shaking grapes or keeping a straight face.
Yeah, that kind of nonchalant confidence suggests security.
Or anime characters like Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z. Always making those cool entrances, arms crossed, cape flowing.
Or Sasuke from Naruto, the mysterious, standoffish type. That aloofness itself can be a form of aura. It creates intrigue.
So if you wanted to, consciously try to farm aura, what's the advice?
Well, the sources get pretty practical, actually. Things like putting together a good fit, an outfit that makes you feel confident, good hygiene, obviously, finding a spot in a populated area, but maybe slightly off to the side, not right in the middle.
Okay.
Maybe nonchalantly scrolling your phone, looking into the distance. If someone approaches, keep it casual, low-key.
But the main thing seems to be
Be authentic. Be yourself. Because ultimately, people can usually tell when you're putting on an act.
Right. Okay, so that's the slang, the social aspect. But you mentioned gaming earlier.
Yeah.
It's not just a metaphor there, is it? It's like a literal mechanic in some games.
Exactly. It's fascinating how game designers have picked up on this. In games like Devil May Cry 5, the character Virgil has a concentration meter. It actually builds up when he stands still, looks superior. It can even go down if he just runs around normally.
Wow. So standing still and looking cool actually powers him up.
Pretty much. Or in Yakuza, Kiryu's heat meter for special moves, it can fill up instantly if he does a stylish dodge.
Okay, I see.
Even Dead by Daylight, Michael Myers has his stock mechanic where he gains power just by standing and staring at survivors.
Ah.
Other games mentioned were Bleach, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth with characters like Sephiroth and Zack. It's about rewarding style.
So it's less about, like, the most efficient way to win and more about looking badass while you do it. Rewarding the performance of being cool.
Exactly. Fighting with style, dominating the scene through presence, not just brute force. Game designers use these aura mechanics to reward that visual flair, to make playing the character feel cool, even if it means making a dramatic entrance instead of a practical one. It's about the spectacle.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, let's shift gears quite a bit, because this term aura farming also has this whole other meaning, right? Something more profound.
Yes, completely. This is where we move from cool points to genuine well-being, the spiritual and psychological side. So traditionally, aura refers to that subtle energy field believed to surround living things. You find this concept in ancient traditions like Ayurveda, Chinese medicine, and even modern biofield science explores it.
Right.
So aura farming in this context means consciously nurturing and strengthening that energy field for better health, mental clarity, resilience. Think of it like tending to an energetic shield that supports your stability.
And what's really striking is how a counseling psychologist, Dr. Manju Until, connects this to psychology, to emotional regulation, mental hygiene.
Precisely. While, Western science might not have instruments to measure an aura field per se, psychological research absolutely supports the idea that we emit emotional and behavioral vibes, that these affect us and others.
Like emotional contagion, how moods can spread.
Exactly. Emotional contagion, mirror neurons, how we kind of unconsciously mimic others' feelings, psychosomatic coherence, the whole mind-body link. It all points to how our inner psychological state manifests outwardly, how it affects our energetic expression.
So how do we farm that kind of aura then, from a psychological view?
Well, Dr. Antil outlines 5 key components. Think of it as psychological gardening almost. First is emotional composting. This isn't about ignoring tough emotions like anger or fear, but actually identifying, accepting, and integrating them.
Okay.
Through things like journaling, EFT, or tapping to process emotions physically, somatic experiencing. It's about building real emotional resilience, not just suppression.
Got it. What's next?
Second, thought weeding, just like pulling weeds. This is about cognitive hygiene, actively identifying and challenging irrational thoughts or cognitive distortions. Using tools maybe familiar from CBT, like thought records or cognitive restructuring, cleaning up the mental space.
Makes sense.
Third is light cultivation. This is about actively nourishing self-worth and positivity through things like daily affirmations, focusing on your strengths, maybe acts of kindness, which actually boost hormones like oxytocin and serotonin. It connects directly to positive psychology.
Okay, number 4.
Energetic boundaries. This is huge, especially for people who feel things deeply, empaths. Yeah. It's about setting clear emotional and mental limits so you don't just absorb everyone else's stuff. Learning assertiveness, detachment strategies, protecting your own energy.
Crucial. And the last one.
Fifth is rhythm synchronization. Basically, aligning yourself with natural biological rhythms. Things like good sleep hygiene, taking short breaks during work, those ultradian rhythm breaks, mindful eating, getting sunlight. It helps regulate hormones and mood.
So this framework, it's not really pseudoscience, is it? It sounds more like a symbolic but very practical model for personal growth.
Exactly. It encourages mindfulness about your emotions, your thoughts, your interactions, your connection to your own body's rhythms. It's holistic.
And it can have real effects. You mentioned a client example.
Yes. Dr. Antil described an IT professional dealing with severe burnout, feeling dumb. By adding these aura farming rituals, things like specific breathing visualizations, journaling about energy leaks, boundary meditations alongside traditional therapy like CBT, the client reported feeling lighter, clearer, and more energized, not just physically, but emotionally. It shows how these approaches can work together powerfully.
Wow. Okay. So wrapping this all up for the listener, what's the big takeaway here? Aura farming started as this like trendy slang for looking cool, right? Born from viral dances and video games. But as we've unpacked it, it's also this surprisingly deep psychological and maybe even spiritual model.
Yeah, I think it really emphasizes our own agency. our ability to be mindful, the mind-body connection, and maybe even a kind of vibrational responsibility. It's about consciously cultivating your energy, inside and out. So whether your goal is just to project more confidence when you walk into a room, or you're aiming for deeper inner well-being, these principles of aura farming, in whichever sense you take it, offer some really practical insights. It's not just about following a trend, but maybe becoming your own trend by really owning your presence.
It definitely encourages reflection, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How do we present ourselves? Outwardly, yes, but inwardly too. It makes you ask, what kind of aura am I actually cultivating? And what am I actively doing, big or small, to nurture it?
And maybe the final thought to leave people with is, in this world that's so full of digital performance, constant information, how could consciously farming your aura, your inner state, your outer presence, maybe help you not just navigate reality more wisely, but actually find more genuine joy and connection within it?